computer. So tell me, how are people feeling today? On a scale of 1 to 10, who's at an 11?
Oh,
Okay. So, boom, boom, boom.
now looking at your, yeah, it's solved.
So now you see which order people are coming in. Okay, cool stuff. We're here to see what you got and see what you came up with. I'm curious to see how many people feel that they made progress along the way. And we just see Eslin popped in. I'm going to make you a co-host here.
We
All
need
right.
another we need another group photo at the end then.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll photocrop it in or something like that. Okay.
Now we can at the end just hi Eslin. Let's remind us to do another group photo with you.
Okay. So one of the things that's kind of strange today is you're going to see new faces that you haven't seen before. You say, who are these people? These weren't the friendly people that I know from before. But it's easy because you're not presenting, you're just showing a video, so there's no big scares. So there are three things I'd like to do today. One is have some fun, share a little bit, see some comments. I'd also like to see that you guys learned something in the course. And the way that we're going to evaluate the talks is, do you have something to say? Are you structured and delivered? And did you breathe when you were talking? If you didn't exhale the whole time that you were there, well, actually, I don't know how many of you can do this for 3 minutes, but that's going to be tough. The agenda is we're going to go video by video. Because of the funny thing with Zoom chat, I'm going to ask you to write comments on people's talks in the WhatsApp. Because if you write them in the WhatsApp, everybody gets a copy of it. With the Zoom, I never know where they go to. There's going to be one rule, and that is there's a maximum of 2 questions or comments per video. Otherwise, we're going to be here for a really long time. And at the very end, we're going to do a voting on the strongest message, the best introduction, and the best regulation. And I don't know how we're going to measure that, but already. So here we are. We're ready to go. So 1, 2, 3. And the first up from a beautiful scenery is Candace Adams. And we're going to see her video in just a second. And there's going to be a little bit of a lag here in the video. So her mouth is not going to be moving exactly the same, but there's no way to fix this unless everybody watched this locally. So here we go. Up number 1.
I spend a lot of my time working with leaders, helping them develop self-awareness and the ability to lead themselves well. But if I'm honest with you, vulnerability has never come naturally to me. Because for most of my career, I believed two things very deeply: that my value came from achievements, and that as a leader, I had to have all the answers. For a long time, those beliefs worked. When things got difficult, my instinct was simple:
Oh shit. I clicked on something now. Hold on.
work harder, be more prepared, have the answer. Which worked really well until it didn't. A few years ago, I woke up in a moment inside of a job I used to love. Same people, same work. Nothing about the job had changed, but I had. And I remember sitting in meetings thinking, why does it feel like I'm pretending to be someone else, pretending to be someone I used to be? It took me a while to realize what was happening. For most of my career, success had been built on proving my value. But leadership was asking me to do something a little bit different. I think early success asks us to prove our value, whereas leadership asks us to understand ourselves. And so for many of us, we reach a moment where the identity that helps us succeed is no longer the identity that's going to help us lead. That space, the space between who we were and who we're becoming, I've come to think of that as the moment in between. And it's uncomfortable, let me tell you, because instead of proving yourself, it asks you to get curious about yourself, curious about what we believe, curious about who we are underneath the armor that we've built. And what I'm learning in this journey is this. I think leadership isn't about becoming the most certain person in the room. It's about becoming the most aware. Aware of ourselves, aware of how we show up, aware of who we might be becoming next, and conscious of the impact that that person has on the people that we have the awesome privilege of leading. So I'd like to ask you, who are you underneath all of that armor? I'm learning about the person underneath all the armor. I think I've forgotten who she is. And I might spend the rest of my life learning more about her. But what I have learned is that although I might have felt more protected with that armor, less vulnerable than I do now, I'm a lot more agile, a lot more present. I'm able to move differently without it. And so I hope you'll have the courage to think about who might be underneath the armor that you've built. Thank you so much to everyone that's been a part of this course. Thank you to Bryan and Jay. It's been an incredible privilege being part of the pilot and the beta program. I wish every single one of you the absolute best in the future, in your careers, and in building this new journey of becoming a speaker. I hope we'll all stay in touch. All the best.
So Candace, my apologies. I was going to write a nice comment and I clicked away. So my apologies for you. So we have time for 2 comments or questions.
I loved it. I just
Okay.
don't want to go after her.
Okay.
No, it was
Powerful,
great. It was awesome.
powerful message. I actually took some notes around doing something similar, moving, and I call it moving from doing to leading. So thank you for the inspiration. Because I did move from being a technician to being a CEO of the company. And yeah, that had I heard something like this, maybe I would have done it a little differently. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Perfect. I have a question for you, Candace. How did it feel watching it?
Brian, I think better than I expected it to, if I'm honest with you. I expected to have some cringe moments, and it was better. It was better than I thought. But I'm also lucky enough to be able to share that with my hubby and my little one running around here for the first time. So maybe that makes it more special too.
I really liked it. And if I can figure out a way to type comments, I'll type them without interrupting the next person's.
One little comment from you, me, because Candice, you just used the word again. I would be very aware not to use the word honest, or if I'm honest, or to be truly honest, because it indicates that you're sometimes not. So this is just a little side note. That's I'm very careful about this word or point this out to everyone who's using it. Just little comment, but beautiful video.
That's helpful. Thank you, Jay.
Alrighty. Next up is Roland. Are you ready, Roland?
What if Crohn's patients could get answers sooner? Think of someone you care about.
I did it again. I guess I can't write comments to anybody.
And partner, parent. Now imagine that person has stopped leaving the house. Not because they have nowhere to go, because the distance to the nearest restroom feels too risky for them. This is one of the invisible realities of Crohn's disease. And for too many patients, the suffering is not only the waves of pain itself, it's the uncertainty. I have a friend, I will call her Anya. She has 2 boys and lives with Crohn's disease. She is on treatments, it helps her. But her world was often smaller. Missed school events, family trips, she set out, ordinary moments gone, because her body had other plans that day. What makes it even harder is this. Anya waited years for clear answers. And her story is not unusual. Today, Crohn's is still diagnosed by exclusion. Doctors rule out other things. For a diagnosis, they piece together symptoms, scans, clinical lab results, and biopsies of damaged tissues. Why? They cannot directly see what may be driving the disease. Why that matters? Because if the driver is different, the treatment path may need to be different too. For years, researchers have been looking at a specific suspect, MAP, Mycobacterium avium paratuberculosis, a bacterium. A bacterium long suspected as a possible driver in cases of Crohn's disease. But the question has stayed open for a simple reason. It is very hard to prove what you cannot clearly see. MAP has been too difficult to detect reliably for human samples. Until now, a decade of development gave us a suitable grow medium. The medium makes it possible to culture MAP cells from human blood in weeks instead of months. Let me share an example, but visibility changes. A patient with severe inflammatory bowel disease was out of standard treatment options, and he was heading toward bowel surgery, removal of part of his intestine. A sample was sent in, and MAP was detected at high numbers in his blood. The clinical team added a targeted antibiotic treatment. Within months, the patient improved. No surgery needed.
Wow.
Now, I want to say this carefully. This is a case example, not a clinical trial, nor a proof. But it's a real signal.
I did it again.
And not either. The hidden living form of MAP has been rolled out from human blood and tissue across hundreds of cases with suspected Crohn's disease. And this has already influenced treatments. When something hidden becomes visible, the treatment options can change before life-altering decisions are made. So, where does this go from here? The bottleneck is not longer the science, it is access. What we need next are partners to scale the grow mediums manufacturing and clinical partners to validate the method so that mud testing becomes possible for more patients earlier. If you work in diagnostics clinical research or know about microbial media manufacturing and you are interested, I would really like to talk with you because MAP detection can be clinically useful even before causality is fully proven. Every month we wait is another month a friend, a partner, a parent spends with uncertainty. They are not waiting for a miracle. They are waiting for an answer in weeks, not years. That is what we are working toward, providing answers to Crohn's patients sooner. Thank you.
My apologies to you, Roland, as well. It seems I can't touch anything.
No problem. It's very hard, right?
Comments and questions? Let me ask you, Roland, what did you feel watching this?
It's okay. I'm analyzing it. I'm still too fast. It's not enough pause. It could be even more distinct. I think the story itself is good. The language could be a bit more natural than what I spit out in proper English, but we're getting there. I think it's I hope the message comes through, and that's important. And I will improve further on this one. That's my mission to get this heard. And I think every test on this edit feedback helps.
Yeah, I think your talk could benefit from those let it sink in pauses.
I was struggling with the 4 minutes. I had either to leave out the
Right.
looking for partners or yeah. But I wanna get it through. But you're
Unclear
totally
message,
right.
right? Yes.
Can I ask you? Oh, wow, they're in there. So I couldn't see the other screen. I wanted to go over and write comments. Jay, what do you think?
Well, Roland said the most of it. Same here. A little bit more pauses, a little bit slower. The storyline I really liked at the beginning of introducing the friend Anya to make it really tangible. I think I would make one more message from the end or closer to the beginning that people really understand what the outcome can be and will be.
Okay, cool. So you know what's different here? Because there's no stress for any of you. If we were doing this live, that you had to do your talks right now, people would be going, "Oh my God, oh my God." But all that comes up, you just have a video coming up. Oh, big deal there. Okay, next one up is Raphael. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen?
The idea I want to share with you is that we should never give up and we should always have hope. Many years ago, when I was in my 20s, I was shaving one morning and then I realized that I couldn't see my face. Yet I knew my face was there because I was able to touch it. So I went to the ophthalmologist, who then told me that I had a brain tumor. Not believing what he had told me, I went to my office. At the time, I was an intern at the European Commission in Brussels. Immediately, I got a phone call from a hospital saying that an ambulance was waiting for me so that I could be hospitalized. It was unclear to doctors what was going on with me. I was getting weak physically. I was getting dizzy all the time. A few months later, I went to Columbia University in the city of New York to do my graduate legal education. And there it was officially announced that I was a patient of multiple sclerosis. Not knowing what it was, it became a shock to me. And the doctor told me, in a few months, you will be in a wheelchair. So what I suggest you do is go back home and make sure that your mama looks after you. Since I am a fighter, I decided to not listen to the doctor and decided to continue my legal education. I started treatment after treatment, and none of them would work. Things were getting worse and worse over time. However, since I'm a strong believer in the power of science and the advancement of science, about 10 years after my diagnosis, new treatment, intravenous, came into the market, which was incredibly effective. And that really improved my quality of life, and with that, my pathology. So I'm very grateful to all the doctors and scientists that are working in labs, very long hours, every day, for the benefit of all of us. And my last word is one of gratitude to the healthcare professionals that I met all throughout my journey, whether these were nurses, doctors, anyone in the healthcare profession that has made my life and that of others much better. And so the point I want to make here is that we should never give up because we don't know what the world will bring in the future, and we should always have hope.
So, Raphael, I'll ask you the first question as well. What do you feel?
Oh, I feel great.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay.
Quite easy to talk about your own life than it is to talk about something else.
What I really loved at the beginning here is how you brought me into your story. In fact, the way you described it, I could actually feel it was me having the same issue, which I thought was really brilliant.
Thank you.
Other comments?
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of like oh, I wonder what happened. Like he wanted to know what was going to happen. So that's super audience engagement right there, right? When somebody feels that way, kind of like, oh, I can't wait to figure, to find out. So I love that.
Oh, they come. Christopher, I saw you nodding there. Tell me what you have to say to Raphael.
Yeah, I'm nodding because the first sentiment I felt it, meaning that I was leaning in. It's like, okay, what's next? Okay, what happened? Okay. I just I felt being pulled into the into the explanation. So that's why I was nodding because yes, I was fully agreement with that statement.
Okay, Kathleen, you're up.
Yes, so I thoroughly enjoyed Raphael's pace and he was so natural. I didn't feel like he was reading anywhere, it was rehearsed. I actually felt like he just came on and told us this great story and fell in love with the story. Thank you.
The authenticity. Yeah. All right, next one up is
One comment, maybe just from my side as well. So very well done, Raphael. You said it's easy to talk about your life. For many, it's not. So if you own your story, it's easy. If you struggle with your story, it's hard for people to talk about. Just a little side note.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's people that are good at things find a lot of things easy, and things that are not good.
Yeah.
That's
I
very true.
always say the story owns you until you own your story.
All right, next one up is Katrina. Here we
Oh
go.
no.
Large language models and other generative AI tools are not calculators. They should be treated more like capable interns. Now, this is important because most of us learn to trust computers from a very different era. Traditional software is deterministic. This means you give it an input, you get a specific output. You give it the same input, you get the same output. Think about it. When your financial software generates a quarterly report, you don't think to go and double check all the numbers. When your payroll runs successfully last month, you just assume it's going to run successfully this month. Computers earned our trust because they were reliable. We have an instinct to trust them because they were deterministic. Now, large language models and other generative AI is not the same. Now, they may create polished reports, generate neat summaries, and confident recommendations, but they do these probabilistically. This means you ask the same question twice, and you'll get slightly different answers each time. Now, the answers are typically very good, very polished, but once in a while, there will be a slight error in there. And the problem is, those errors are really hard to detect. And the reason they're hard is because these mistakes are typically wrapped in confident answers. And our instinct is to believe these answers because they come from a computer and because they're delivered confidently. That is why the challenge with AI adoption is not technical. It's psychological. Our instincts about computers are outdated. They need to change because computers have changed. Now, once you see that, the right mental model becomes obvious. generative AI is not an answer machine. Large language models are first draft machines. Just like a capable intern, their answers are helpful, fast, and surprisingly insightful. But you still have to check their results. You still have to review the work before you make a decision, especially an important decision. Now, that shift is small, but it changes everything. It is the difference between an organization that struggles to adopt AI successfully and one that is able to realize AI's full potential.
Katrina, what did you feel?
I hate looking at myself. I hate pictures of myself and I hate videos of myself. So I just, I mean, I think that's the main value of actually forcing yourself to video yourself because then, you see how others see you as opposed to how you see yourself. So I think that that's what I didn't like. But I mean, like I always hate seeing it, but I was happy because it felt more natural than I've tried to do other videos before, and it felt more natural because of that donut um, method that you taught us. And I like that a lot because I, I didn't have to memorize, I didn't have to read. I just kind of like talked about it. So I thought that was definitely, something that I learned and I've definitely improved.
Jay?
Well, great storyline. I would like to see a little bit more motion and emotion. That's what we didn't train in this course, mimic hand using. But if you're not there yet, I would suggest to come closer to the camera, that your face can fill more of the screen in recording, that you're coming really close, that people can capture you better. That's the only remark. Other thing else is well done. And definitely very fluent, no notes. Perfect.
Roger?
Yeah, you pulled me in right away with that first statement about LLMs are not calculators. And I thought that would be the red thread throughout the entire talk. But then towards the end, it sort of started wobbling a bit. Like, is the message they are not calculators, or are they? Is it a people problem, or is it a first draft machine, or what was the purpose of your talk? I sort of got lost towards the end. I still like very much your calmness and the way you use pauses. So thank you for that. So keeping one clear message, I think, will be the main feedback for me.
Perhaps I should repeat it at the end, right? Like the main message.
Could
I
help you.
didn't really do that. I sort of just said, I just referred to it. I just said, that is, if you do that, then your adoption of AI is much more successful. But I should have said, defined that again, perhaps.
Fair enough. I still liked your talk, by the way.
Thank you.
Katrina, I think one of the things that you could do is you buried your lead a little bit. So the buried, so would anyone buy a calculator that gave an answer which was different each time? Would be a way that you could pull me into this talk a little bit longer. So you just grabbed me from the beginning. Alrighty. Next one up. I'm loving the fact that all you guys are writing comments in the group. That's really fantastic. Okay. All the way from Jamaica, our all-star team. Are you in the World Cup, by the way, Christopher?
No, we're not in the main World Cup. No, I think we're in like the teenager or the Women's World Cup. But no, we missed out by like one game.
All right. Okay, so Christopher, you're up.
Thank you.
A student studies hard, memorizes everything,
passes the exam and still leaves school unprepared for the world ahead. That should disturb us, because the real question in education is no longer how much can we deliver. The real question is what kind of human being are we developing for a world that keeps changing. For generations, education was built for a more predictable world. Learn the facts, pass the tests, get a job, and for a while that worked, but that world is gone. Today, information is everywhere. Technology is reshaping work, it's reshaping business, even thought itself. Careers are changing faster than curricula. And in a world like that, success cannot depend on what you know. It depends on how you adapt. Very important. I've seen this from the classroom. I used to be a teacher. From the business, I used to run several companies. And now through the lens of AI and transformation, we're helping the government with policy. I've become convinced of this. The future cannot belong to those who simply remember the most. It will belong to those who can learn, unlearn, and relearn, think, collaborate, and meet change and challenge with character. That's why we must disrupt education. No more disruption just for fashion, not disruption just for noise, but purposeful disruption that builds agile minds. Minds that can question, minds that can solve real problems, minds that can think ethically, and minds that keep learning long after the exam is done. Because knowledge still matters, foundations still matter, but content is no longer enough. If we prepare students only to repeat answers, we may help them pass this, but we may fail them in life. But if we prepare them to think, to adapt, to rise when the world beneath your feet shifts, when education becomes more than instruction, it becomes empowerment, it becomes preparation for life, it becomes hope. The job of education is no longer just to transfer knowledge, it is to build agile minds for a changing world. Thank you.
Christopher, what do you feel watching it?
I was going too fast. This was my third version of the video because you had said not longer than 4 minutes. I said, okay, maybe I could do it in two. So the first version took 3 minutes, and then I tried to squeeze it down into 2 minutes, and I think I went a little too fast. And I showed it to my wife, and she said, "Your hands are all over the place. You're moving too much." And I'm like, so. Other than that, it was an okay message. This is actually a lecture that I'm actually supposed to give next week, and I extracted a small portion of it just to create this talk. So this is a real situation. I'm actually speaking to a teacher training college next week.
So I'm curious, like if people feel that it's too fast, because I actually think it's very much more natural than like say mine. Like I made mine like really talks slowly and everything. And so I feel like it was more natural and I liked it, but I don't know. What do the
Thank
experts
you.
think?
Thank you.
What makes me really excited is to hear somebody saying I should slow down. My God, we've done something right. I mean, my story behind this, I used to run some large accelerator programs and I would see 300 pitches. And those pitches went by at a speed you couldn't believe. And all of you, I can actually hear what you're saying. So, Christopher, you might have felt it was fast, but it was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jay.
Yeah, for me it was again what we taught about keeping that we only can keep 4 to 5 to 6 things in our mind, because I love the passion. I actually like the hand movements and the body movements, but you did not allow myself time to process the thought. So it was then one big information where one got off and one got more, you know what I mean? So it's the first information I already deleted to hear the next information. Therefore, the process time to understand would have been appreciated a little bit longer.
Loud and clear. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. Next up, from the Netherlands, with lots of energy, ladies and gentlemen, we have Roger.
Every time they add technology to move faster, banks actually become slower. The promise is very simple. Move to the cloud, take a new SaaS application, and use other people's business functionality. You can use it readily, you don't need to wait for it while it's being built, and it makes us faster. But I've come to realize a very inconvenient truth. With every new system added, dozens of new connections between systems are added, and complexity increases. Change cascades. A change in the customer management system leads to a change in the risk management system, and that means analytics and reporting needs to be adapted to allow for regulatory reporting. A change that is merely 2 weeks to implement suddenly takes many sprints and months to complete. Let's illustrate this. 3 systems, 3 connections. Add 2 more, and suddenly we've got 9 connections. Add a few more, and we've got something that resembles integration spaghetti. Very hard to manage connectivity between applications. In large organizations, they have thousands of applications. Customer management, fraud management, analytics, ordering, you name it, they have it. And with those applications come integrations, multiples. 1,000 applications easily lead to 10,000 integrations. According to McKinsey, 70% of digital integration effort is spent on actually implementing those integrations. So instead of spending all their money on adding new value and business functionality, they spend a lot of their time on connectivity in between. Integration seems to determine how fast a bank can change. With increased complexity comes decreased delivery speed. So with ample spaghetti, we slow down almost to a halt. So those business applications that they connect, they seem to be pretty set for accountability and responsibility. But who manages the connectivity in between? Who is responsible for that? Who has the knowledge? Who has a say and who doesn't? We propose to introduce a capability for governance called an integration authority. And they govern how systems connect. They don't act to slow us down, but to speed us up. And to show how that's done, let's look at what governance entails. And this is not conclusive. So they introduce design standards, which allows us to automate. What's not designed, what's not standardized can't be automated. They introduce a catalog so you can actually find services and reuse them instead of building a service and an integration that already existed in a slightly different way. And they educate and empower teams so the organization can scale up. So when integrations follow governance and clear patterns, teams move faster. And integration is now suddenly the fuel for an organization. The fastest banks in the next decade, they strictly govern connections. So if you find yourself in a situation or adding new technology to speed up your organization, but it actually slows you down, perhaps it's time to get your own integration authority.
And Roger, are you the integration authority?
Remember that I sent a message. I actually have a different version of this talk and I'm presenting to our COO last Monday. That was the real talk, and that got me an investment in an integration authority.
Can we have this written as a
Great.
testimonial?
Yeah.
He did write it already.
Yeah, I sent something to Bryan, I think yesterday.
I had to pay him 2 beers for it. My God, is
That's cheap.
Okay, other comments, questions? Roland, I saw your head going up and down
Yep.
when
I really like to start and with the pause and then towards the last part it got faster and squeezing in more details and so on. I think from the last third it would benefit to leave some details out and come back to the core message. I think you have a really good story. It's important. Obviously it got you also success. I like that. Too many details too fast in the last part dilutes it a bit.
I recognize that. Thank you.
Great work. Like the slides.
Yeah, I had some great tutors there.
All right.
Absolutely great talk, by the way. So I think I have no idea about the subject matter, but I could not stop listening. So it was really, really well done.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Here is our last one for today, because I think Eslin, she had computer issues or something. I don't know. She came in and then she went away. Is that right?
Yes.
She
Yeah.
said an emergency, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, here we go. Oops, I didn't announce. It's Kathleen. All right, here we go.
From victim to victor, my personal journey, a gender-based violence toolkit to heal, to empower, and to restore hope. The most dangerous thing that violence takes from a woman is not her safety, it's her voice. 1 in 3 women globally is affected by violence, physically or sexually, in their entire lifetime. Every 11 minutes, a woman is murdered somewhere in the world. And in my country, South Africa, the most women are murdered globally. This was my life. In 5 years, I went to court over 40 times. I went to court over 40 times to seek healing from the system, to seek closure, and to seek help. And I did not get any of it. Then one day I decided enough is actually not enough. The battle is no longer mine. I decided to walk away. Not because I'm weak, because I found my voice. I'm reclaiming my voice. Woman, reclaim your voice. Your voice is powerful. My voice is powerful. Our voices are powerful. Silence does not break the pandemic. Silence does not take action. We will no longer be silent. We are reclaiming our voices. And as we reclaim our voices, we will make global impact. You reclaim your voice, I reclaim my voice, the next woman reclaims her voice. Imagine the global impact. We will turn victims who are broken to become victors who are becoming. Use your voice. Be heard. I've developed tools that are available to everyone to heal, to empower, and to connect. Your voice matters. Thank you, African Speakers Bureau. Thank you to my colleagues. It was absolutely awesome. I am transformed because of you. I value you, and I look forward to long-term relationships. I look forward to global societal impact together. Thank you. Kathleen Baba Venda from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Oh,
Beautiful use of drama, Kathleen. Really. You paused at the right times. You breathed at the right times. You talk louder at the right times. I wish I could say we taught you that, but I think you knew that in advance. Really good. How did it feel to
Thank you so
you?
much. Oh, from where I came from. Oh, I feel great. And I used all the tips, all the tools. I took it through a stress test, took it through a review, and I had a script, and in the end, I lost that script, and I was like, I'm just gonna speak. This is my life. This is my book. This is my story. So I feel really great. I'm that 11 out of 10.
Oh, I like to hear that. Oh, what?
Thank you.
it was amazing, really. Thank you very much. Keep going. That's so important.
So, are you guys ready to vote?
Just one side note as well. Beautiful lighting, by the way. So the light is perfect done. It's a great video.
So, what I was going to propose is we do a little vote, and what we're going to look for is 4 categories: strongest message, the best introduction, best regulation, and best overall. And I'm going to put that up on the screen. You can vote more than once. So if you can't make up your mind, you can put your vote for more than one person, and we'll just see where the numbers come in. All right, so let's see if this works like it's supposed to. Okay, polls. Launch. Do you see something now?
Yes.
Yes.
I've beaten the new Zoom. Fantastic. And Jay, I can remove you as a host if you want to vote.
Yeah, maybe let's do this. Yeah.
Okay, so go mission. So now you can vote. And a bummer, I can't vote.
Oh,
Yeah, by the way, only single choice answers.
Are the only single choice. God, don't give a man technology. Is everybody here voting? So I don't know who hasn't voted.
I submitted. So
Yeah, me too.
Kathy, Candace, are you voting or no? Yeah. Christopher, I think he might be off someplace. Roland, you've done it? Jay, are you busy?
I've done it.
I'm here. I'm voting. I think I've
I'm done.
4 out of 4 answered. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm done.
It's not easy at some points. They're really,
Yes.
really, really strong
Yes. Exactly. It's
presentations.
hard.
Yeah, so
yes, strong contenders.
So I still see 5 out of 7 that have participated.
Coming, best combined.
Someone disappeared. Who disappeared?
Eslin disappeared.
Oh.
And Raphael disappeared, actually.
I think Candice
Right,
disappeared too.
okay.
All right, everybody
Oh,
done?
no, guess there.
Yes.
Quality. Dun, 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 dun. I know the result. Here we go. So, in strongest message category, we have Kathleen, victim to victim.
Thank you, colleagues.
For the best introduction, we have a tie between Candice and Raphael. And since Raphael has taken off, it goes to Candice by default. So congratulations to you, Candice.
Thank you, everybody.
For regulation, oh my God, she's back again. Kathleen is there again. And I'm guessing for the last one.
Kathleen again. Well deserved.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yay. Oh,
So
thank you.
Wonderful, beautiful.
Wow. Oh, thank you, everyone. If it wasn't for your vote, I wouldn't be up there. So thank you.
So I have to figure out how to make the poll different because this one looks very binary because Kathleen won everything. But in the future, I will figure out how to run. But I was really impressed. Overall, what I see from this group here is you've used a lot of things that we've talked about, especially the pause. It's something that I saw coming back again and again, and I enjoyed listening to the talks. Jay, what do you think?
No, absolutely agree. So I see, well, it's always difficult to say where you were before, but I think there were definitely lovely, lovely, lovely videos, lots of improvement, I guess. I just can't really say, but yeah, I was impressed by many of the videos. Roger blew me away, Candice blew me away, Kathleen blew me away. The story of Raphael was brilliant. So yeah, lots of great talks, great talks.
A question for you. When you were doing this, what would you have liked to have known as you were filming these videos? Is there something you wanted to know?
This is a good question to everyone.
Yeah, I'm not understanding the question. Would you like us to be better at, or
No. So for example, you said, "Oh shoot, I should have." So for example, filming yourself is not an obvious thing. We could have talked about that, but I don't think that's really about a speaking skill. That's more of a technical skill. Is there anything else that you felt was missing as you were doing this?
The audience. It's
The audience wasn't there. We can't make that for you.
yeah. So I enjoy it if I can talk to somebody instead of myself. Yeah.
You need that connection.
yeah, that makes it very much harder for sure.
What surprised me is how much echo there was in my talk in the audio. And to be honest, I do have one of those Rode mics here that I can put close to my mouth, but I didn't use it. But I've learned that I should have used it.
Yeah.
Because that makes the sound much clearer.
Yeah, no, there's lots of things. So for me, my point of view, it has been our honor to have all of you here. I'm going to remember from today the little yelps and screams from Kathleen, which have actually made my day. That put me at a 10.5. I didn't get to an 11, but I got to a 10.5, which is pretty cool. Jay, what would you like to say to the people here?
Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your willingness to learn. Thank you for making us better in getting the teaching right. And I don't know if all of you have gotten the feedback to us. That's just a side note from the German accountant. But thank you for best haircut. Is this about me? No. Just kidding. I just got out of my head. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for giving us the honor to be with you for the last 2 weeks. It was a pleasure. I've learned a lot. I hope you do too. And yeah, we never know what's the next journey will be. There's much more to teach.
Okay. I have a question. I would like to share everybody's LinkedIn with everybody here. Would that be okay for everyone?
Sure.
That would be fantastic. Hey, I have one question. I mean, you did a pilot, you will do the course in a way public. Can we help you? Can we support you in any way to give back that we can be part of the pilot? Will you let us know when you put it on LinkedIn or somewhere else so that we can share it and promote it? I would love to do this. I
Yeah.
think it's
Same.
Yeah, there's one very practical thing is we're going to do a talk on April 1st to talk about what we learned in the pilot,
I have seen that, yes.
and we're going to put that up. If you can share that and talk about it, and just share it in your network, talk to people and say, look, I did this thing, it was kind of cool, um, different than a typical course, and share it around. What I'm going to tell you in advance something I'm going to do, and I'm going to come back to you in about a month from now. And I'm going to ask you if you remember anything. And if you remember something a month from now, that is the most important thing that we can present to a company. Because typically you go to a training and you forget what you learned. So the way that you could help a lot, Roland, is remember what we talked to you about and be able to answer those questions a month from now and come back with something that I've used this in this place or I used it in that place. So that was it.
As you have asked, Roland, what I would like to, you see, at the moment, I'm working a little bit more on the marketing side. I think we have a great course that can have a great impact. What I believe is it's even when I fine-tune the message, I realized how important this is for so many out there, this course. It's not just a speaking course. This is about your personal messages, but this is all about, you see, the next 5 years will be a totally disruptive world. No company knows what's coming. And now we need to make the people heard who actually have something to say. So this is of tremendous value for companies, for corporates. And if you introduce us to people in corporates, in companies, in learning and development, in HR, this would be much appreciated.
There's one last thing which we'll come back to about a month from now is if you're willing, if you actually found some value in it a month from now, is to take to 20 seconds, say, I remember this and I used that. Some sort of a testimonial saying there was value in it. That would be really cool. Roger, you're going to be our voice for prosperity.
So the feedback that I got, not from my boss, but from her boss, when I gave that presentation last Monday, is you did something different. I don't know what, but it worked. And we talked about it, and I told her about the 10-day course that we did. And she asked, is there any way that we can get the rest of our team to do this too? So I think that's a good testimonial for what you've delivered. And I think it's fair to say that what you've delivered is, and you will find it in the feedback form as well, it's down to earth, no bullshit, real and honest feedback that helps me forward. And I'm sure that if I would do it again, I would still learn new things. So no worries there. Happy with where we are. And I'll be in touch about my boss's request.
Fantastic.
We will appreciate this.
So with very good news, now 10.5 to an 11, we got there.
Yes.
I'm in 11.1. I'm even happier than Kathleen right now. So anyways, I want to thank you, everybody. You've been stars. You've been fantastic. You've done some great work. I will share the last video. I will actually also share all the videos from the course and follow-up stuff, which Jay has as well.
Bryan, I still have to ask for the testimonial in 4 weeks, which would be April 15th. Where do you want to get it? On LinkedIn, directly to you, in the chat?
Any place you want to put it. So basically the primary message for us reaching out is LinkedIn. So if it's a 20-second, this is something I got out of this. Roland, Rogers, yours, for example, I talked to my boss. He said something was different. That's a perfect testimonial. You don't even have to say more than that. So it's not much more than that. So thank you, everybody. Love
Thank
you
you so much, you
all.
too.
Thank
And I
you.
hope our paths
Thank
cross
you.
Bye,
again soon.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Nice to meet you all.
Cheers.
Yes, it was
Bye.
lovely. Bye.
Where do I leave?
Ah, goodness gracious. That's a good one. The thing from Roger. You're unmute, by the way.
Yeah, I just moved the chair and sounds like something like a fart or something. That's sort of. How big is the company that Roger works for? Is it 5 people, 50 people, 500?
I don't know.
Any idea?
He got 1.5 million for an internal project, so it's gotta be a fair number of people. So it's not, and we'll see. I
Yep,
think,
million and a half. This is probably euro, not rand. Yeah, sounds nice. Good, good.
So, and I think he's very, very, behind it. And I think all we have to do is just make it a little bit easy. And maybe if we get our fact sheet or something like that really short that he can share internally really
Yeah.
quickly.
So I spoke this afternoon with the guy who wants to bring me investors. As the process is taking so long, I just said his name is Malcolm. Malcolm, why don't you just introduce me to a few LD and HR in UK? He said, sure. Maybe that's the better version. So that's what I'm working on. This is why I'm so keen on the pitch. And he wants to talk to us on Monday, hopefully. And I would like to introduce you to. He was one of the guys who was listening on a live talk, and he is very impressed. So this could also bring us a few sales in the UK HR. So I think we are ready for these talks. I just need to get a little bit sharper in my arguments. That's what I'm working on. A little
Okay.
bit overwhelmed by other processes at the moment. Too much work on my plate.
Okay. So we got one of the things I would like to do is tomorrow, if we could, is take everybody that's sent in group number one that has sent in their evaluation form, that we send them a graduation certificate.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sent you something in PowerPoint which you can
I
adapt.
saw. I
It's
saw. Yeah, yeah.
not very complicated. It's basically just a picture behind text.
Yeah, yeah. I'll work through it. And as every new tool that you introduced me to.
No, I mean, I don't know how there's 100 ways to do it. This is probably the simplest way to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think what we really do need to do is follow up on the people that haven't given us the feedback and push
Yeah,
them a little bit.
exactly. I will do. It's just a little bit overwhelming at the moment on my side. Okay, I would love to rush to the restaurant and maybe get some food still. They are closing right now. See you tomorrow. Any time that we need to check in tomorrow or want to check in?
No, why don't we show up 10 minutes early though? And we'll go.
Okay.
Today it was quite strange. There was nobody there.
Yeah. No, I mean, also in meeting with Vishali or Manzi or other meetings, let me know.
Okay. All right. See you later. Enjoy your meal.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.